Do long-distance relationships work? The short answer, yes. If that is the case, we should end this video right away. Then since we have already answered the question for you, right? Actually, it is not just a simple yes. Yes, it works, but there are a lot of things to consider. And what are these things we need to consider? Before we begin, what do you think about this question? Please share them in the comment section below, and if you are new to our channel, please like, share, and subscribe. Also, don't forget to click that bell icon. Now let's continue talking about LDR relationships. We have opportunities to interact with and learn from people all over the world in our increasingly mobile and connected world. Additionally, these opportunities increase the likelihood of finding love even thousands of miles from home. Long-distance relationships, fondly called as LDRs, were once unusual and frequently began after a couple had already been together for some time. The relationship's physical setup would have to change due to one member moving for work, school, or military duty. But in today's world, we can also fall in love virtually. So even before meeting the other person in real life or IRL, it is now simpler than ever to start relationships online, whether they are romantic or not. What difficulties exist in LDRs that do not exist in stable relationships? How can individuals in an LDR make sure their relationship is successful? In this video, we will talk all about that. Firstly, let's discuss about the challenges you will face when you have an LDR relationship. Even though every romantic relationship faces obstacles, studies have shown that long-distance relationships may present a unique set of problems because of the member separation. First, financial hardship brought on by travel. Everyone who has been in a long-distance relationship has experienced financial strain. Couples on LDRs must budget for travel costs the same way they would for other expenses like a mortgage, food, and clothing, regardless of whether it involves the high fuel costs of driving hundreds of miles or the time and financial commitment of frequent airplane travel. Second, experiencing more intense feelings. Studies have shown that people in LDRs typically experience more intense feelings of excitement, jealousy, love, and anger. This entails the possibility of making decisions based on emotions, getting into pointless arguments, and experience piercing disappointment. Most of the time, the main reason the LDR relationship will end is jealousy. Third, establishing boundaries with a partner who lives far away. The negotiation of the boundary is more difficult to handle. Long-distance couples may resent their partner's close friends, frequently complaining that they spend too much time with them. Additionally, there is a chance that while you're away, your partner could start dating or form an intimate connection with someone else. Fourth, high expectations during meetings. When we spend time with our partner daily or at least frequently, the conversations often revolve around routine daily activities like getting sick, doing the groceries, brushing your teeth, or simply collapsing in front of the TV out of exhaustion. However, in LDRs, the notions that in-person encounters will be magical, filled with amazing sex and frequent romantic runs up against the reality of, well, how life functions. Couples who have high expectations for their time together are frequently disappointed and resentful when it does not turn out like what they imagined. And finally, it is easy to ignore problems because of distance. It is also very simple to brush off or ignore relationship problems that are intensifying due to distance. Instead of the actual behavior of disengagement, we attribute it to stress, the actual distance, and missing each other. Often, if the misunderstanding gets ignored, it will be worse the next time. And then everything will add up when the fights get heated. These points are the main reason why a long-distance relationship is a hard path to take. But don't worry, because as I said in the beginning, LDR relationship works, okay? To make the LDR relationship work, of course, both you and your partner should adjust to the situation. But the question is, how? In this video, I will give points on how to make an LDR relationship work, so be sure to watch until the end if you want to make it work. Number 1. Ensure the quality of your conversations. When the two of you are apart from one another, much so that the physical aspect of the relationship is absent, consistent communication is important. However, too much of it can backfire and cause the two of you to feel smothered or burnt out. Instead of texting one another non-stop, find balance and moderation and concentrate on the quality of your conversations rather than how often you speak. You might discover that the more you converse, the more you talk in circles about the same topics, rather than engaging in a meaningful discussion that helps you respect one another's opinions and intellectual contributions. Some couples seek constant emotional intimacy. For some people, speaking every day is boring. Be willing to adjust your communication styles as life brings about fresh and unexpected demands. Number 2. Establish routines and get to know one another's schedules. Let each other know about your schedules and routines once you and your partner have adjusted to your new lifestyles and become settled. Depending on how much your schedule differs from each other, if you want to do Skype dates or phone calls, you might have to alternate taking into account each other's availability. It might seem difficult. The rest will, however, fall into place once the two of you establish a rhythm that suits you both. Number 3. Give them a keepsake that is special to them. Give each other something to remember each other with before the two of you part ways. You might be motivated by, for instance, exchanging nightlights, stuffed animals, jewelries, hoodies, or mugs. Giving your partner something doesn't have to be grand or expensive. Instead, concentrate on how the item has helped you find purpose in your life. Number 4. Think about the advantages. You can't change your situation immediately, but you can change your thinking. Think positive. Think about the advantages of your LDR relationship even if it seems difficult to be apart from the person you are deeply in love with. Why not think about this? You are currently working on the future for you both. Think about saving today and living in a luxurious villa with a person that you love later on when the time is right. It is so romantic, right? Your sacrifices for today will get paid eventually, so think of the brighter side of the situation. Number 5. Schedule time to see each other, but accept that not every visit will be perfect. You might want to make the most of your time together when you visit each other by planning fun activities. However, since everyone is human, give room for flexibility rather than perfection. Sometimes you might feel like staying in and watching a movie with your significant other because you've been traveling back and forth so much. Other times, a flight delay might cause you to miss your dinner reservations. While having fun and spending time with your partner is important, there are times when it's best to just wing it and go with the flow. Remember that the focus is in your group, not necessarily what the two of you do. Number 6. Keep bringing up the aspects of your relationship you cherish with your partner. Doubts, insecurities, and jealousy are inevitable in long-distance relationships. But how do we fix this? Assurance. So frequently assure one another verbally and tell your partner how much you value and love your relationship. Additionally, don't be afraid to seek your assurance if you're unsure of where you stand. Assurance keeps the bond strong. Don't ever break the trust. If you break it, it becomes more difficult to assure your partner that nothing will happen when they are not around. Number 7. Establish trust and work to avoid making snap judgments or assuming the worst. Life is not always predictable. So rather than worrying about whether your partner is cheating on you or if they have grown bored with the relationship and maybe spending more time with their friends, know that there is no actual proof or evidence to support those anxious thoughts. Instead, focus on the fact that sometimes things come up like family emergencies, working overtime, or illness that may interrupt your usual communication patterns. Instead of stuffing insecurity and raising the walls, develop trust with your partner and ask each other how you feel. It is preferable to ask your partner questions directly rather than over-analyzing and trying to fill in the blanks on your own. Take note of these 7 tips to make your LDR relationship work. Just remember, the relationship will work if you let it work, okay? Don't let distance hinder you from losing the love of your life. What do you think about this topic? Do you agree with us too? Do you think a long-distance relationship will work? Share your thoughts in the comments section below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.